And well, why? If you never use them for ill, who cares how many you got? Because you can only wield one at a time. Well, I suppose if you watch some of the movies, you can have two handguns, and if you're Arnold Schwarzenegger, I guess you can, and you have muscles like that, I guess you can hold two machine guns or AKs or something, and fire them at the same time. But you're still not going to have more than two. I don't know a single human being that can fire more than two guns at once. If there is, I want to know how they do it. Are they going to sit down and fire with their feet? Well, I suppose that might be possible. That'd be an interesting feat. But who cares how many you have? I don't care how many you got. If you can afford to buy them and you got them all legally, I don't give a flip why you have them. It's none of my business. I would look at, if you had some of the guns that I would like to get, I'd probably just look at you with a little bit of jealousy. And thinking, wow, how did you afford to get that, man? I'd love to get my hands on one of those too. Have you ever gone just, the target shooting or something? It's a blast. I know, double entendre there, but it is a blast. You should, if you've never done it, now look, do it. Go someplace where there are professionals around that can teach you how to handle the firearm, shooting range or something, and just shoot off a few rounds. I know it can get kind of expensive if you're not careful, if you shoot off too much, but go and just shoot off a few rounds. Be taught how to handle the gun that you want to shoot properly, how to aim it and fire it and all that kind of stuff, and learn more about it and how it works and operates, and just go have some fun shooting at targets. They're a blast. Again, double entendre. I got to stop that. I'm sorry. They are. Just go have some fun with them. You don't need to. There are people that just shoot off rounds. That's their entertainment. I know you think they're the people in the backwoods and everything in the country and yeehaw. Did you know that I was doing some research on this a while back. Did you know that in the old Wild West, the West of Jesse James and Wyatt Earp and all those things, that gun-related crime and murder was lower than on the East Coast? Did you? Well, I'm not talking about California, but Dodge City, Texas and Arizona and Colorado, and all those, the Wild West, what we consider to be the Wild West. Why? Because everybody carried. Everybody carried. They had a firearm or two strapped to their hips, or it was stuck in the holster of on their horse. Everybody had a gun. There was mutual respect there. Nobody wanted to start popping off rounds at everybody because they knew everybody was going to be shooting back at them. That's a little bit of U.S. Western history. The Wild West actually was not so wild. It was actually kind of calm and boring. That's the reality of history of the West in the 1800s. It was calm and boring. It was occasionally interrupted by these larger than life bandits like Billy the Kid and those people, but and some legendary lawman like Wyatt Earp. But other than that, it was pretty quiet. I wonder if any of those people, what would they do to our government if back then the government tried to take their guns? I don't know. Interesting to probably try to think. What would the founding fathers do if? Well, I know what the founding fathers would do. They'd be, calling up the Minuteman call to arms and storming Washington at the moment. But I just wonder what those in the Wild West would do if they tried doing this back then. But in any case, so they're putting together these rules or these bans outside of public view, so all the details are not currently known. But the Los Angeles Times did know that the ban would cover those who are unable to manage their own affairs for a multitude of reasons, from subnormal intelligence or mental illness. Now, that is subjective, because what is subnormal intelligence? Hell, we've already got the left thinking that they're smarter than everybody else, and they're telling everybody else out there who's a Republican or a conservative or a constitutionalist and who likes guns that there's something wrong with you. You're mentally ill or you're stupid or both. That is highly subjective. Subnormal intelligence or mental illness. To incompetency, an unspecified condition or disease could also put you on the no-gun list for Social Security recipients. Unspecified, what condition? What disease? Oh, you got cancer, you can't have a gun. Why? Mental illness, we already know that they already think that, we're mentally ill, when they're the ones who are, liberalism is a mental illness. I'm convinced of that now. I am thoroughly convinced of it. It really is. Now, the ban as pertaining to Social Security beneficiaries is now tucked into the mental health aspects of Obama's executive gun control. His executive health. Folks, you want to talk about insidious. And of course, here's a story on Obama and his wonderful little 30-minute speech. He referred, over 33 minutes of his speech, he referred to himself, I, me, my, 76 times. Now, nobody who's normal does that. The guy is not mentally stable. It is classic narcissism, and narcissism is a mental illness. It's a mental disruption. So basically, if at some point, what Obama's trying to do, if you're getting any sort of government benefit, it's going to be construed as that you're incapable of taking care of yourself for whatever reason. Therefore, you're disqualified from owning a gun. Now, understand that every single American at the age 67 now, every single American has to start withdrawing from Social Security. So every American, if they get to the ripe old age of 67, you're going to fall under the purview of the federal government and their gun ban. So even if you do have Burt's Basement now, you turn 67, they're going to say, you're getting government assistance now and you're mentally unstable, you can't take care of yourself, so all your guns are getting confiscated. Don't doubt me on that. And that's where it starts. All you got to do is start with one aspect of society, and it'll be a hell of a lot easier to start in other aspects of society and expand it until it includes everybody. Or until it at least includes everybody that you want to include. And trust me, Obama wants it to include everybody who is not in the government. I mean, we got so many different kinds of people that you never would think should have guns in the federal government are starting to carry guns. IRS agents there's some IRS agents carrying guns. Some postal inspectors are carrying guns. Housing people from HUD. I mean, I had those stories last year, folks. They're carrying guns. Why? They're not law enforcement. Well, they're regulatory enforcement. And yeah, people at the SEC, there's even some I guess there's now going to be a policing department of the SEC. What, they need to have a gun to go into a stockbroker's office now? Folks, I'm telling you, this stuff is starting to get, it's not starting to get, it is scary. It is scary. I know, but it's not time to panic yet. As I told the good folks down in South Carolina, it is not time to panic. I'll let you know when it is, and right now I'm not hitting the panic button. You know, if you're going to use a term like they use for nuclear war, the midnight clock. You know, what are we standing at now? 5 minutes to midnight or something like that? Well, we might be moving closer now that North Korea is suspected of detonating and successfully testing a hydrogen bomb. Yeah, I got that story here. I know I got the story. North Korea tests its own hydrogen bomb. Let's see if we can pull that story up really quick. And this is from Newsmax, by the way. North Korea claims hydrogen bomb test. So North Korea's claim, according to Newsmax, that it carried out a successful hydrogen bomb test earlier today, drew swift condemnation from friends and foes alike. China said it firmly opposes its neighbor's action, while others blasted it as an intolerable provocation that must be punished. Well, how are you going to punish them? And frankly, China, if China can't control that jackbooted idiot over there in North Korea, then nobody can. So this whole notion that China is condemning, I don't, maybe publicly for the world's, for the safe face in the world, they're saying, we condemn it. But I'm sure behind closed doors, they probably gave them technology to help them along. Don't doubt me. Do not doubt me on that. If China wanted to shut down North Korea, they could do it. No questions asked. So several governments promised a firm response as tensions soared again in Northeast Asia, with many calling for further action by the United Nations. They go, what action? Look, the people are already living in poverty. They're already starving to death. What more could the UN possibly do? Nothing. The man is a crazed crackpot taking after his father and grandfather. Maybe mental illness is hey, Obama, how about this? Because you're constantly talking about, certain people shouldn't have guns. Well, how about certain people shouldn't have bombs? How about the mentally, disabled and less than normal intelligence not be allowed to have bombs? So we're just going to allow this crackpot in North Korea to have a gun. A gun. Big guns. He gets to have nuclear. You think he's going to keep that stuff to himself? Hell, there's another story here that from Iran. Out of Iran. Iran has got a new... they got a new missile site. Did you know that? Iran unveils a second underground missile station silo. Yeah, and this is even from liberal publication writers Yahoo News. Iran unveiled a new underground missile depot yesterday, with state television showing Ahmad precision-guided missiles in store, which the United States says can take a nuclear warhead and violate a 2010 UN Security Council resolution. But hey, you know what? Obama's taken the side of Iran over Saudi Arabia, because Saudi Arabia executed some Iranians who they convicted of terrorism. We're still supposed to do these wonderful, arms deals and stuff and treaty with Iran, and they're not. Oh, no, they don't have any more missile silos. Hey, guess what? They got another missile silo. At the same time, you got North Korea up there claiming that they're testing hydrogen bombs. At the same time, got another story here that's related. Our Pacific Fleet is shrinking. Hello?